If there's one real part of the writing process that is often very, very difficult for a lot of writers, myself included, it's usually the summary or any time you have to summarize anything. This could be for, say, a query letter where you got to summarize your entire plot into basically a couple of really quick paragraphs to an agent, or in my case, the blurb, where you've got to summarize the basic plot of your story and really fit that into a small square space on the back of a book or on an Amazon page, and describe basically the plot of your story. I've said before, when it comes to these things, I am a little bit better, I think, at it than perhaps other people might be. I don't find it as challenging, but man, this has been racking my brain. I think it's more of the pressure of it. In all honesty, it's that when I do the summaries in the quick synopsis for, say, something like a query letter, I have a bit of a devil may care attitude, in the sense that I come up with what I think is a really good summation of the story, but ultimately I realize only one person, the agent, is ever going to read it. So if it gets the general sense of the story across, I think it's enough that they'll take a look at my pages. I don't fret so much about it. But with this is going to last, forever here, right? Everyone's going to be reading the back of this thing here. This is what's going to be determining whether people pick the book up or not. And so I'm very, very apprehensive about doing this. Going in today, I started going through my next pass of the blurb, and yeah, it feels solid. Like, it feels like a solid thing here, but it definitely does not strike me as anything that stands out. This blurb, it doesn't strike me. It doesn't even seem to really hold the heart of the story in it, which I think is something I need to get over, because the blurb's never going to have the story, right? The blurb is never going to have the crux of it, right? It's in the reading of it where you get that element of it. And so I shouldn't be so much worried about having the story kind of summarized and it feeling a little bit more hollow than perhaps what it would normally be. Still, having said that, it's difficult. There's definitely a weight to it. There's a weight to this, and it's made me apprehensive. I think I'll be calling in maybe an extra pair of eyes here in the coming days to take a look at it and to give me some really good feedback on it, and maybe make some suggestions to change it. I'm not married at all to what my blurb says or what it looks like, so if someone has any suggestions for it, from the people I'm going to be asking, if they got any suggestions, I'm going to be probably taking a lot of that advice. Just something that reads well, something that gets the core of the story across is what I care about. But that was today. That was most of my day today, or at least my morning session. I was joined by my cat, as you can see. Always good to have that. Always feel a little bit of extra feeling like the muse is coming in whenever I'm greeted by my cat. Very, very rarely, but it does happen. Yeah, so at this point, I think I'm going to be putting the blurb aside for the moment until I get that second pair of eyes to take a look at it. I'm not going to mark it off the check mark and say I'm done, but for now I'm putting that aside. Over the next few days, what's going to be happening is I am going to be focusing more on the paperwork. I've actually decided that this Saturday I'm going to be doing one giant day of paperwork and getting it all done. So it'll probably be the paperwork, and probably the ISBNs will be knocked out on Saturday. That's going to be my hope. Again, we'll see, but I don't think it's going to take particularly long to get these things done, and it's just been a weight that I've been kind of carrying around, not getting this stuff done here. So sooner I can get that out of the way, the better, and take a whole day off on a Saturday and just get it done will be great. Looking ahead, I got probably 2.5, 3 weeks left until I get my story back, so I'll have to find something to do in the meantime. Probably again going through and revising that blurb more and more. But we're getting closer. We're getting closer to finally getting back to at least some editing, at least changing up some words that have been put on a page, because man, I have strongly missed that. As much as I hate editing, as much as I've talked about before how much it's busy work, not physically writing is it's not fun.